Hi everyone and welcome back. Okay, so a quick video for you on how to clean, well, as the title suggests, how to ruin and clean your watercolour palette. Now if you want to ruin your watercolour palette, my suggestion is use any colour with phthalo blue or phthalo green in it, and it's going to really stain your palettes to the point where you really wouldn't want to mix any more colours on top of that. I mean, I've not cleaned it yet. I've just finished a project with this and I used a lot of phthalo blue and black, which has got phthalo blue in it as well, from the Sonic watercolours set. And they're colours I don't usually use on my regular palette, but this one was sent to me for review. I'll leave a link to the place where you can actually buy this set from. It's called Crafty Studio and they're based in Ireland. And they're stocking a whole range of the St. Petersburg products at the minute, all at good prices, so I'll leave a link to their website for you. I'm not affiliated, I don't get anything for saying this, it's just that they sent me this set with a couple of other things to review for them. And I've just finished the review, I've just finished a painting with it, and this is the state of the palette afterwards. So with a little bit of tissue and just clean water, you'll see that phthalo blue doesn't clean off your palettes at all. It really does stain them, well, permanently, if you're not prepared to use some slightly abrasive cleaning solution on there. You know, it's just going to stay like that. I mean, it's lifted the surface droplets off, which were left on the palette, but as you can see, if I get a clean piece of tissue and I wet that and I go over this again, keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, nothing's coming up. That's permanently stained the palette. So if I wanted to mix a very pale wash of, let's say for example, lemon yellow, that's a good example, because a pale wash of that over the top of this is going to show as green. So if you're mixing a light yellow glaze or something, you really wouldn't want to do it on a palette like this. So there's several things you can do to clean your palettes. The first one, which works quite well, is Master's brush cleaner. So it's just a brush cleaning soap. I've used a lot of it actually, this is very old, and all you need to do, I've got a jar of water here, just dip your finger in the water, rub it in the soap. You might need to do this several times, but you can see, look, the pigment is coming up straight away. Just rinse your finger off and just again a damp bit of tissue. And it's just about gone. I'll just give it another going over with the soap. Again, clean bit of tissue and just wipe all the excess soap off. And that's back to new again. Almost back to new. I'm sure if I went over that again it'd come up pure white, but that's fine for me, I'm not that fussy, as long as it doesn't look like this. Okay, and another good trick for getting rid of stains is to use toothpaste. Again, just squeeze a little bit onto your finger, you don't need much. It's probably not as good as the soap and it might not remove all of it, so we'll do it on this, well, just here where it's not too bad. Just maybe a little bit of water in there as well, and this will leave your palette smelling lovely and minty fresh if you like that sort of thing. But you can see, look, it's kind of coming up a little bit, but that well wasn't sort of heavily stained really. But toothpaste does work. Again, just clean your finger wipe that off. Just dip that in some water. Let's get a bit more tissue. Okay, you can, well, I hope the camera's picking it up, but you can still see a slight bit of stain there, only very lightly, but for the most part the toothpaste has worked quite well. Now the other thing you can do is use these things. These are magic erasers. You can buy these in your supermarket. They come under several brand names actually, they're on Amazon as well. It's like a very, well, it's like sponge, it just looks like foam. I've just torn a piece off one of the pads that I've got, and it's very, very slightly abrasive, and it is actually called a magic eraser sponge, and you just wet it in clean water. You can see there, look, that it's lifting the pigment off quite nicely. But remember, all of these things are slightly abrasive, so the more you do this, eventually you're going to wear through the paint on your palette. So let's turn that over. You know, it's not something you want to be doing after every time you've used your palette. It's probably something you only ever want to do if you ever use one of the phthalo colours. I mean, I know dirty palettes look cool and everything, but when it gets to the point where it was a stain as bad as this was, with that really dark blue, phthalo blue stain on there, that's not cool. You know, you can't really mix colours on that anymore, so this would really be the only time I'd actually bother doing this, particularly on a metal palette. I mean, on a plastic palette, all of these methods work exactly the same as they have done on here. But obviously on a plastic palette you've not got to worry at all about rubbing through the paint, so you could, you know, do it more often, I guess, clean your palette more often if you needed to. Still see a little bit of toothpaste on there, I'll just clean that off. So there we go, almost back to new. I'm sure if I went over that again, particularly with the Masters brush cleaning soap, several more times, it would be back to completely pure white. Okay, so that's how to, well, that's 3 ways how to clean your palette. Now there is a 4th way, but again it's using an abrasive, but this is very, very effective, and I've used this in the past. I'm not going to demonstrate it now because I haven't got any with me at the moment, but it's a product called T-Cut. And basically what that is, if you've not heard of it before, it's a car polish that's very sort of mildly abrasive, and spray paint finishers use it after they've finished spray painting to remove that sort of orange peel look, that orange skin look that you get with freshly sprayed paint, and you can rub over it with that and it'll send it like glass. But it's also brilliant for removing stains on your palette as well. It stinks a bit of ammonia and everything, but like I say, it's very, very effective. But to me, that's a last resort, and if you can get away with using toothpaste or Masters brush cleaner, or even just a little bit of magic eraser sponge, I think that's probably the best bet. Okay, so if you want to see an actual review of these Sonic watercolours, I'll post a link in the description below for you. I've just done a painting with them and a full review of them, so I'll put the links in the description below. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, everybody. Hope that's helped you out. So take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.